Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first official Magdalene Masterclass. It's a bit of a sneak peek. It's a free one for you guys to get an idea of what these are going to be. And I am Stephanie Lodge, aka the Hug Angel. Some of you know me on social media as that. And I'm a global peace ambassador as well as a Magdalene Mystic, which is why we are doing Magdalene Masterclass to bring forward the idea of the modern Magdalene, to bring forward the idea of the unsung heroine, the unsung, an unseen really heroine that is rising into the consciousness of humanity. And why is she rising into the consciousness of humanity? Because she's the perfect archetype to bring forth the balance of the sacred sovereign feminine to match that, I guess you could say, Christed masculine, right? And so the whole idea with bringing powerful women together, and men sometimes as well, to speak on what this consciousness means to humanity and why it's so important for us today. I'm going to be bringing in some beautiful ladies today, Dr. Sharyn Wynters and Kim Ressler. And the reason is because we're going to be talking about DNA Renewal, my new program that's part of my Magdalene Mastery path. Now, what I would like to say about this, DNA Renewal is a blending of science and spirit. It's bringing together what I do as a spiritualist or a mystic with the science, peer-reviewed science of how we can support your DNA. And we're going to be talking specifically about the science side today. And then I'll be wrapping up with a beautiful meditation to give you a little taste of the Magdalene spirit. So first of all, I'd love to welcome the beautiful and talented and wonderful Dr. Sharyn Wynters and Kim Ressler. Hi, ladies.
Yeah. Great to be here. Thank you, Stephanie, for doing this.
Oh, you're so welcome. And we did have a little bit of like sound issues, so we'll do the best we can to get through this live. But I just want to thank you for being here. And Dr. Sharyn Wynters and I have known each other for many years. She's been a proponent for greater health and wellness on all levels as a naturopath. She's the author of The Pure Cure, and she's been working on this path of wellness and vitality and finding true vitality for decades. And we'll have her share a little bit of her story in a moment. And Kim Ressler, I'm just so excited to meet you. It's my first time meeting you. And Kim is just a devoted mother. She's bringing so much forward right now to share with us today about what I call DNA Renewal. And Kim, I'd love to introduce you first as far as having you share a little bit about your story, since you're new to me as well. Do you mind?
Absolutely. I actually live, thank you, Stephanie. I live in Boise, Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
And I am just passionate about putting people in touch with things that are going to help them the most.
Yeah.
I do have 4 children, ranging from 24 to 13. And again, my passion in life is to help people discover their inner power to age as healthy as they possibly can. So I'm really happy to be here.
Oh, thank you so much for being here. And then Sharyn, I mean, there's so much we could say about your path, but I would love you to share a little bit about your background and what brought you here.
What brought me on
to this moment of health and wellness?
So I've been in the health and wellness industry for 50 years, which is impossible because I'm not that old. But I was an actress in my late teens, early 20s, and was diagnosed with cancer. And back in those days, I didn't know anybody that had cancer. And I went on this incredible mind, body, spirit journey. And it led me to a dentist in Texas, Dr. Donald Kelly, who was curing cancer through nutrition. And I went to see him, and through his program, which was about nutrition and so much more, everything you're putting in, on, and around your body, I was cured on his program. And after I was cured, I had the great honor to study with him.
Hmm.
And it's interesting because it's come full circle for me. He took a drop of blood, came back an hour later. He told me everything I needed to do in my body to change, and then put me on about 250 different nutrients of vitamins, minerals, herbs. And 30 years later, I wrote a book called The Pure Cure. It's a 500-page reference book on everything you're putting in, on, and around your body, and toxins and solutions, because we need solutions. And a few months ago, a doctor friend of mine, who's an Ayurvedic naturopath, shared with me this company and what they do. And it was so reminiscent of Dr. Kelly and his work, only much more advanced.
Mm-hmm.
because this is really science-based. So I'm sure Kim can share a little bit more, because she's been at it a lot longer than I have. But this is, you know, as I said to a friend the other day, I said, you know, things come into your life for a good reason, and things come into your life for a God reason. This is a God thing.
Yeah, I want to actually, before we move to Kim, I want to share just how I learned about it was, you know, I had actually asked Magdalene in the consciousness I work with, the councils, I said, guys, I'm tired. I have a summit coming up. I need to get through this with grace and ease. I need support. And what I was frustrated by was I had gone to an alternative doctor, and she wanted to prescribe like $900 worth of supplements. And I'm like, I'm not going to spend $900 worth of supplements a month for me to feel better. Like, there must be a different way to do this. And what I also realized that was frustrating for me is I had certain supplements that she eliminated because there might be one ingredient in there that's not good for my body, even though the rest of them were great. And yet I had these supplements now that I couldn't take because that was counterproductive. You know, the one ingredient was going to cause inflammation. So as good as the other supplements were, it wouldn't matter because of this one ingredient. So now you're like trying to figure out, well, this cabinet of supplements I have, like, which ones are good for me? And you don't know, you know, and that's the biggest, that was my biggest frustration. Literally, this just happened in the last month or so. So when you brought me, we'll just say the name Üforia, I was so euphoric, literally, because I thought, oh my God, this is what I called in. And there it was within days of me calling it in. So I just want to share that little piece of it. Now, Kim, your story is extraordinary. You've had the longest journey with Üforia, and I want to have you share a little bit about that, because it's pretty profound.
Absolutely. You know, I think it was about 13 years ago. I wasn't, my story of why I was looking at DNA nutrition, and I had been for a long time, I wasn't feeling well. And from doctor to doctor, I tried so many different things. I did go Ayurveda. I know I don't say that word quite right. I went vegan, bioidentical hormones, you name it. I tried it and I did it. And I did it for a very, very long time. Just trying to feel better. In general, what's life worth living if you're not feeling well? Chronically fatigued, terrible digestion, terrible sleep at night. Everything is all together. And I had been studying what genetics versus just taking things blind off the shelf. I mean, I saw a naturopath for 2 years who it was $400 to $600 a month in supplements, and I wasn't feeling better.
Yeah.
So when I saw so many friends going to doctors to have their DNA done and then decode for them or map their genes, I was like, that's amazing. Why? Because it's you. You know, we are 99% alike, but that 1% that makes us different, it's why you utilize, absorb, detox, all your pathways in your body. And so I didn't want to start that process of having my genes mapped, because it's extremely expensive and extremely time consuming. And very shortly after that, Üforia Science presented itself to me. Not only do I know the gentleman that owns the back end, I dove deep and I did a lot of research on what they were doing and why. And it is a very simple solution of literally a DNA test. Not only that, then we decode it for you into this beautiful report, and then we give you a solution into one. So you're taking one thing, not 20, 30, 40, 60 different things.
Yeah.
And literally, when I got on the product, my life changed. My energy, my sleep, my digestion. I'll tell you, my hair changed, my skin changed. I felt something so amazing. I didn't even know at the time. I've had an autoimmune all these years. It wasn't until a year after I got on the product that I did find a functional doctor who finally did the blood work correctly for me to tell me what I've been dealing with. All of that time, all of those years of blind, we weren't getting to the point. Not only that, but once I addressed my body, specifically me, I did something to that autoimmune where I do not take any medication. I feel amazing. I feel like it's like I lost 10 years, you know, and I mean, when I say lost 10 years, I feel better than I had felt for so many years. So we all have different predispositions and things that we're dealing with. And that's the beauty of this company, is that and it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing to have your own genetic code and roadmap.
Yeah.
So now you know specifically what ingredients in what format. I mean, there's so many different things that come in different formats. And is that what you can absorb and utilize? Is it in a bioavailable format for you? And that's exactly what this company does, just for you. And it's a beautiful piece. So I've seen the stories I've seen. I knew at first some of this is new for people. It absolutely is. I was familiar with it because I'd seen what some of my friends were doing, but I've seen the stories over and over and over. And as I said, I am passionate about giving people or offering solutions to people that are easy, simple, and efficient. Absolutely.
And science-based.
Absolutely.
Can
Yeah,
you hear me better? I found the hole. I have my earphones in.
Good. You sound better.
Do I sound better?
You do.
I want to say this is what was exciting for me about it. I work with DNA at the energetic level. So everything for me is frequency first. And there's an intelligence in the DNA, of course. It's like a quantum computer, I like to say, and there's certain file folders that you just don't want to open. And I feel like what was interesting about this was it's almost like if you have a marker for some type of heart disease or diabetes or something like that, and it's whether it's on your mother's side or your father's side or both, there's a difference in how this company approaches it. And what I love about it is it's bespoke, custom design, precision science. It's not, well, let me see if maybe this is just a universal thing, one size fits all anymore. And that's what's so powerful and groundbreaking, in my opinion, because I know, that there's people in my life who they just don't even take supplements at all, because they don't even want to go down that path, because it just seems like this endless, let's just buy this supplement and that supplement. And like I said earlier, if there's one ingredient there that doesn't work for you, now you're going to have to buy each individual thing, one bottle at a time, and that adds up fast. So I feel that this whole industry needs a whole rehaul. And what I love about this and why it's in the Magdalene spirit is it's because it's disruptive. It's disruptive to a system that just doesn't really have the highest capability of supporting us. And we're unique like fingerprints. I say this all the time, and we have to treat ourselves like this. For some people, keto diet, not going to work for them. Other people, vegan, not going to work for them. Everybody's different. And we get these trends and these fads, and they're programmed at us. And I'm like, okay, this isn't necessarily the way to go, right? And what I love about this program is they have not only the wellness report that you get for your general health, but they also do a weight loss report. Do either of you want to tackle that one and tell me a little bit about that?
I'd be happy to. Ultimately, the wellness report looks at so many different biochemical pathways in your body. And that may sound a little bit scientific, right, when I start talking about that. But we look at weight management too. Some people it doesn't matter what they do. They eat right. They get the exercise. They've got a clear mind, but they can't drop the weight. Yeah. And, just a couple little examples that we'll talk about. One would be your methylation in your body. That's your gasoline. Some of us cannot use use things like folic acid and process it. And gasoline in your body, that's your energy, right? So we know that based on your own DNA. Not only that, caffeine. Caffeine makes some people cannot metabolize caffeine, and it actually makes them gain weight. How did you know that? I mean, those are a couple of the things that we tell you in this report that's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I went over a client's report yesterday. She got all four reports done, by the way. There's a health and wellness, there's a weight, and it's just not about losing weight, but how you process fats and carbs and sugars and insulin resistant and your obesity risk and your insulin resistance and your Getlin levels. But she has struggled with weight her whole life. She goes to these spas, she loses weight, and she'll put it right back on. And I went over her report, and she's got every obesity marker that's on here. She's got it. And she felt such a relief because she was feeling, like she was a loser. Like for me, for instance, I had the marker, my leptin receptors in my body. So I could start eating at 5 o'clock and I'd still be eating at 11 o'clock at night. And then I'd go and I'd hate myself at night because, I've been eating all night. And then I wake up in the morning, I'm not going to do this again. But I start eating at 5 and 11 o'clock, I'm still eating. Well, I have a marker, a variant in my leptin receptors. Once I got the nutrients to help that, it's changed my life. I can eat half of what I was eating and feel full, because your leptin receptor is what makes you feel full. So it's not necessarily a psychological thing that so many people are blaming themselves for, that they're weak, they can't do it. It's just amazing. And the other thing I want to say is that clients come in here and I want to know what nutrients they're taking, and they come in with bags of nutrients. And is this right? Is this one right? And before it's a guessing game. I don't have to do that anymore, because CoQ10 is an interesting one, because we test that on the wellness panel. That's the NQ01 variant, and it's done with, if you have green, you don't have that variant. If it's yellow, you have it from one parent. If it's red on your DNA chart, it's from both parents. Well, if it's green, then you need to take ubiquinol. If it's yellow, you take ubiquinone. If it's red, you take some ubiquinol and ubiquinone, and that's what they give you in a clinical dose. It's incredible.
There's no more guessing.
No, this is science-based precision nutrition for your health span, because it's not just important to have a lifespan, it's important to have a health span, so that, we die old young, meaning that live a full life of health, not taking 20 different medications that the establishment wants us to be on.
Yeah.
And we live vibrantly, because that's what we're made to do. We're made to live vibrantly. One of the ingredients that, and Kim, you can talk about it, that I love is this AC11, which comes from the Amazon. It's in the pre-nutrition. It's in everything they do. They put it in the health serum. I'm like you now. I was using $200 creams a month. That's the only cream I use now on my face. It's amazing. It's in the cream serum. It's in and it's in the base of everything that they give you. But AC11 is like the inner bark of the cat's claw, and it's designed. There's clinical studies that it repairs your DNA and elongates your telomeres. And that's what ages you. As you get older, these telomeres in our body, they start to shrink.
Yeah.
This elongates your telomeres. And I was just listening to a short little thing, Greg Braden. I'm sure we all know who Greg Braden is.
Mm-hmm.
And they did some work going into the Akashic records, really deep, and interpreting them. And they came up with that your DNA says God is eternal. Mm-hmm. And that struck me so powerfully, because our DNA is God. It's eternal. And when you start putting the right nutrition for these, because we can't change the DNA, but we can change the outcome of what we're predisposed to. And that's what they're all talking about.
Yeah, this is what I was mentioning. Like, we don't want to open certain files, right, in the DNA. It's like we leave them closed. And that's what I love about this nutrition. It's kind of like the lock on those files. It's the best way to kind of describe it, it sounds like.
Yeah. Because I have, like on my report, it's interesting. I have 2 red markers. I have and a lot of yellow ones. I have the CRP, which could be my inflammatory response, but it's the one that can cause cancer. I've had cancer 3 times. All 3 times I've worked through it nutritionally. And I have what they call the MTRR, the heart attack marker. And my father died at 56 of a heart attack. He had 3 brothers that died of a heart attack, and my brother died of a heart attack. And all these years, and it may have been a good thing, I thought, oh, it's his lifestyle. My father drank 2 pots of coffee a day. He smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day. And yeah, he did that, but he also had that marker because I have that marker.
Right.
And we need to know what our markers are for our children. The other thing that's a very important marker that they test for is the MTHFR. It used to be when we had medical exemptions in Los Angeles for children going to school, that if a child went and got that test and they had that mutant gene, they could get a medical exemption because the MT. You want to talk about the MTHFR?
I'd be happy to talk about the MTHFR. The MTHFR is the most studied gene in our body. Why? Because if it's your gasoline. It's how your body processes, detoxes. It is responsible for so many things in your body. And as Sharyn was saying, yes. If you have markers on your MTHFR gene, and then there's 2 of them that we actually test. I've seen doctors test just one for $10,000. We test them both. If you have a marker on both of them, it can wreak absolute havoc on your body. So, and if you Google, and I tell people always, they're like, what is the MTHFR gene? I say, just Google MTHFR gene mutation symptoms. If you have a marker on both of them, literally, it can cause a 70% deficiency in how your body is processing and doing all of these different things that it needs to do in the body. So it's again, it's taking an active form of vitamin B versus an inactive form that your body needs, and we can see it and we know. So some of this sounds sciencey, but what it really is, it's really simple to read results, and then a simple solution is what this company is providing. I'm blown away day by day because we are evolutionary in science. This has taken a long time. The science behind this came from the Human Genome Project. So and we just continue to progress. I've had the opportunity to spend the last couple of days with our Chief Science Officer, Dr. Jen Myers. She is a doctor of naturopathic medicine, a doctor of clinical nutrition, a doctor of Chinese medicine, and she's got her PhD in medical genetics. So she is constantly researching, studying how we can. That's what will continue to happen. Being on the front end of this. Simply, easily having this ability to address these, for me, I mean, it's been very, as you would say, it's my own DNA, and now I get to see my genetic code and simply address it. So
maybe we should explain the process. Can we explain the process?
Go ahead.
I just wanted to explain how the process works. So. They send you a swab, and it's HIPAA protected and very private. And you swab each inside of your cheek. You put it in a little vial, and when you put it in an envelope, and when you send the envelope back, you're just a barcode, and you send that barcode back to the lab, and it takes them about 30 days to get your report. And when they get their report, they send it over to this nutritional multi-million-dollar lab that has hundreds of these hoppers that have all this nutrients in, and they just put your name, your card in, and it just goes down, and it goes, oh, you need some of this, oh, you need some of this, oh, you need some of this, and you can either get it in powder or pill form. At the time that you get the swab, they send you what's called the prep, the pre-nutrition. And the pre-nutrition is designed to do several things. It gets your body ready for this incredible nutrition that's designed for you. It works on repairing your microbiome, and I'll talk in a minute about that. And then it has ACN11 in it, which repairs your DNA and elongates your telomeres. So your microbiome is your gut, and 80% of your immune system is in your gut. I have spent 20 years of my life going to every gut doctor in town, trying to get a flat stomach, and I'm thin, and I had this little belly. I've gone on every cleanse, every detox. Nothing worked. Within 2 weeks of being on the pre-nutrition, I looked down. I went, oh, my stomach went flat. I couldn't believe it. And now I'm jealous because I have a couple of clients. It took me 6 days. 6 days, their stomach went flat. And so in 3 weeks, I had to have my blood work done. And last week I got my reports. This is just on the pre-nutrition. My cholesterol was 227. It went down to 187. My LDL was 164. It went down to 106. My triglycerides was 142. It went down to 109. And my HDL, which is my good cholesterol, was 52. It went up to 60. And my hemoglobin A1C, because I've been a pre-diabetic, went from 6.2 to 5.6. I'm not even a pre-diabetic anymore. Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing. Within 3 weeks of being on the pre-nutrition, I take my blood sugar every day, and I was a pre-diabetic. It usually ranged between 127 to 154. I'm now between 82 and 97.
It's amazing. And the thing about it is, Sharyn,
I take thousands of dollars of nutrition
a
day, not just, a month. I was taking handfuls.
I know. You were taking everything.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I want to say this. This is why I think I want to speak to why I'm bringing this forward to my group and my tribe, is because what I know, I had my DNA tested several years ago, and my telomeres were getting shorter faster than the average person my age. And my doctors were like kind of befuddled by this. And when I tuned into that, I realized because of the kind of work I do, I'm taxing all these areas of my body that maybe the average person doesn't, because I'm running a lot of frequency through my body. And the DNA it's like, that is what its job is again, to be this communication network. So for me, it was imperative to get it to other people like myself, because we burn out faster, essentially, in a way. And it's because we're running these frequencies. It's a different type of work, of course, but what's interesting for me, because I've started the pre-nutrition as well, is I've noticed I don't have the same burnout feeling. I definitely feel more energy. I definitely feel like right away my hair had been falling out from adrenal fatigue, because that's part of what happens. My adrenals get taxed with the work I do. My adrenals felt supported, so my hair stopped falling out. And then I also noticed my sleep was different. Like I was deeper sleeping. And I always thought, okay, it's Wi-Fi, it's other things that I can't sleep well. Well, now I'm sleeping way better. So I'm really excited about that, because it's really important to restore the system. And I have Epstein-Barr virus, and Epstein-Barr is like a precursor to so many different issues. I think that, this new COVID virus coming in, that we don't know what the downstream effects are going to be for people. And so my feeling is we have to keep the DNA tip top. Like whatever our system's going through, we're kind of under attack, because whether you have Wi-Fi frequency interference, whether you have water that's not exactly pure anymore, you have issues with the food supply, the GMOs, all these things, they all compound. They all collectively damage the DNA, in my opinion. Again, this is just my opinion. So my feeling is whatever we can do to repair and restore the DNA to its highest optimized state, and that includes getting it the right nutrition to lengthen the telomeres, plus all the nutrition based on your specific blueprint, really, right? That it's customized to you, because that just makes sense. It just makes more sense to me that I'm going to have the ingredients that work for me. I'm not going to have the ingredients that don't work for me, and it will empower my system to be optimized And that's what I'm so excited about, because
and it's ridiculously inexpensive.
oh yeah, it's a fraction of what I
Ridiculously.
spend.
Couple things you just talked about really, really hit home.
Yeah.
There are all of these exogenous threats around us, and you only know what you know. You are a living being because your cells regenerate. Your cells regenerate. Your skin every 30 days, right? But there's certain cells in the body that regenerate every 90 to 120 days, 3 to 4 months. And when they're not getting the nutrition they need in the proper format, in a clinical dose, they don't regenerate healthier. That's why, I mean, it's a lifestyle product. It's not this magic pill. No, but it's you and what your body, that science has proven, needs. And when you said disrupting the DNA, or ultimately, every time you go through cellular regeneration, if your cells can regenerate healthier and healthier, it's almost like they're regenerating healthier month by month by month, or every time they go through this process, it's anti-aging. And not only when she's talking about AC11, something that I found, there's a lot of companies that have their woo-ah product and they just sprinkle it in. Everything this company does is in a clinical dose. So the AC11 isn't in there in a sprinkling. It's in a clinical dose of what was proven to help an individual to do the things that they claim it does. So you get it in a clinical dose.
Yeah.
That's what's amazing. So if you can keep regenerating healthier and healthier, so it's healthy aging.
Yeah. And what was important to me too with this company was the integrity of, because again, I tune in intuitively in things. And so for me, I know that, my DNA and what my DNA is, is important to kind of protect it. I guess you could say, I don't want everybody and their mother out there getting my DNA access, even though I know that there's probably doctors and things that, we give blood and stuff. But the point I'm making is what I loved about this was it felt like there's a respect. There's a respect in the company for who we are. There's a respect for what they're doing as scientists. I really respect the team. When I heard the story of the team and how they were working with the genome type projects. But this is the thing. It's great to know where you come from, but unless it's actionable and you're going to do anything with that information, I don't really, it's nice, but it's not really going to necessarily help you unless you have solutions. And what I loved about this was they give you the information and here's the solution in one. And that was really great, because you're not like, now here's my report and what do I do with it? It's like, no, here's your report and this is what we're giving you to do about it. So you didn't have to worry about that, which is amazing.
Absolutely. There's so many companies out there that do DNA testing, but they don't offer, they may give you or suggest things to you. They're going to suggest off the shelf or make recommendations. I've had people say, I want to eat for my DNA. Go ahead, you try to do that. But if it tells you need a pound of venison and 18 beets a day to offset your genetic weaknesses, you go for it. For me, simplicity, I couldn't eat enough leafy greens to offset my genetic weaknesses. So I need support. I absolutely have to have it. Our food sources are so depleted of nutrients. And it's not just, it's plant-based nutrition, vitamins, minerals, micronutrients in the right format for you. And that's what we need.
And the right dose.
It's down to the microgram, which is amazing. It's, not just this generic, let me give you 10,000 milligrams of this or 5 or 100 milligrams. It's like, no, you need specifically, let's say 95.2, whatever. But it's that kind of science, which is
it takes the guesswork, Before I was throwing a lot of stuff along, the fan and hoping something would stick, because we don't know, you're not feeling well, and you go to the health food store and the guy says, oh, well, you need some of this and you need some of this and you need some of this, and you go home and you go, okay, but you don't know if it's right for your body. Somebody's medicine is somebody else's poison.
Well, I remember too, Sharyn, what was really profound for me when I came to your house and met with the other practitioners that you had gathered there when I learned about this was they make a lot of money doing supplement, like selling their own supplements and selling their own herbs or whatever, right? And the fact that so many of them were saying, I don't care, I need to get this to my clients. It was like, this is like not the Holy Grail, I don't want to call it that, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, this is a thing that's really going to make a difference. And I'm willing to get this to my clients, even if that costs me money on the other side. But obviously there's an opportunity in this that helps them. But you know what I'm saying? It was just really refreshing to see that.
As a practitioner, we mark up, nutrients. Well, I don't, but most practitioners mark up nutrients 50 to 70%.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of
that. Yeah.
And that's where they make their money. And like I go home with barrels of nutrients.
Yeah.
And I'm saving so much money and feeling so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a really important thing too, for me, last January, I sought out a functional doctor. This functional doctor teaches doctors on nutrigenomics and gene mapping and nutrition that goes with it. Mm-hmm. And when she is the individual that discovered my autoimmune. Mm-hmm. When I had given her, I sent her my DNA report and said, hey, I want you to do my blood work. I know you don't see patients normally. I said, will you? And she's like, yes, I will help you. She found my autoimmune, but she said to me, I'm blown away by your blood work. It looks unbelievably amazing. She said, what you are doing is 95% correct for 100% of the population. She said that other 5%. So let me explain that 5%. She said that other 5% is really, really sick. And I may have to do a few other things, but she said, you are so spot on. She said, if this got into the hands of that many people, she said, you are going to change the trajectory and you are going to change healthcare. That to me gave me chills. And she's like, I understand why you felt so well for this past year. She said, you've been supporting your body at a level with so many key great ingredients. That's why you've had the results you've had.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. It's fair. I'm so excited. I haven't even gotten my nutrition yet. So I'm like waiting.
And you're seeing
bated breath.
Okay. So can I just go through some of the ingredients in the pre-nutrition, which is please. Amazing. So
and then we're going to get to some questions. I want to let everybody know if you want to start asking some questions, feel free to ask your questions and I'll start fielding those in a little bit, but go ahead.
So I want you to know that I was taking everything on this list on pre-nutrition except the AC11 and astaxanthin. I can never say it.
Astaxanthin.
Yeah, those were the two things, right?
It's from red algae.
It has acai juice, acerola, beetroot, biotin, broccoli powder, carrot juice, cranberry, dried apple peel powder, and an enzyme blend of cellulase, protease, amylase, and lipase. And I was spending just $350 alone on those enzymes because that was Dr. Kelly's whole program was taking digestive enzymes. It has flaxseed, frankincense, which is boswellia. I was taking I can't tell you how much boswellia I was taking because frankincense, if you Google it, it's a precancerous herb. Inulin, mangosteen, mixed carotenes, blueberry juice, raspberry, rosemary, spinach, tomato juice, and then vitamin A, B1, B12, B2, B3, B5, B6, vitamin E, white tea, wolfberry, and zinc. That's just in the pre-nutrition.
Right. And then they add in additional when you get your nutrition and adjust accordingly. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But not just add in. They add in based on your results of what your body says it needs. That's what's amazing. So, I mean, we literally compound. Do you want me to show it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's mine. Oops, let me get it there. Okay. That's mine. You can get it in powder or veggie cap. We use veggie caps. I do veggie caps because they travel a lot.
Yeah.
And if I want, I can just take these veggie caps and throw them in to a shake and blend them. They'll blend right up because they're not gel caps. They're veggie caps, right? They literally will dissolve. But yeah, that's it. That's what I take.
I learned something really beautiful from Dr. Stern, Vijaya. She said that in the Ayurvedic, you want to have a relationship with your supplements. And so the powder, you can even take one of the caps and open up and just hold a little bit of the powder, drink a little bit of the powder first, and then take the rest of the caps too, because she says it's something that happens in the relationship between your body and the nutrients, which I thought was so beautiful in the Ayurvedic tradition. So for those who are really into Ayurvedic, you can get this pure in powder form, and do it like elixir or the capsule, she said. And I think either way, it's a beautiful thing to just know you're creating relationship with this intelligence, because we are intelligence, our frequency, everything that informs us is this holographic, as I've spoken about many times, in the work that I do. And that shifts, when you start to bring these intelligence of the plant-based world in, they have their own intelligence. So it's this blend of such beautiful nutrients, and I know they're non-GMO and organic, and they test for mold and the purity of them. So really high quality nutrition, which is so important nowadays. So I want to be clear on that. I'm getting a couple questions. Well, actually, the first question, is it safe if you get pregnant? Does anybody want to field that?
It's food.
It's food. But here's what I say. We do not, with supplements, any supplements, we do not treat, diagnose, right? However,
Cure.
I will, or cure. However, I would love to share a quick story.
Yeah.
I actually had a young woman who never thought she could actually conceive. Mm-hmm. That MTHFR gene is highly related to reoccurrent miscarriages, spina bifida. You Google it, okay? So Google what MTHFR is related to. This woman did not think that she could get pregnant. She was familiar with the MTHFR gene, and I will tell you, she did get pregnant while she was on the product, and she actually named her daughter Mira for miracle.
Oh.
So, what I tell anybody, so the question about can you take it while you're pregnant, what I would suggest is doing the DNA, getting your formula. We give you a complete supplement fact sheet. Take it to your doctor and say, hey, I'd like to take this. When I was pregnant, the doctors kept saying folic acid, folic acid, folic acid. Take folic acid because it's good for the development of the brain of the baby, right? My body doesn't process folic acid. So truly, I should have been taking a different format of vitamin. I should have been taking folate, a different form of vitamin B. And it's good to know, because I do think, we only know what we know. And I don't feel like I did my children a disservice. Had I been giving my body what my body needed and my body would have used it, I know it would have also impacted my baby that I was, I was building a baby in me, know?
Yeah, no, it's this is what I think is really what's the game changer, because we're not guessing anymore. If you don't process B12 one way, they give you the right way. It's like they give you the right version of things. And that's so important, because you're right. If we're not getting the right nutrient that our body can process, it's like it just passes through and doesn't even do anything. And I don't even want to think about the amount of extra nutrition I put in my body that my body now has to, like my liver has to process through, and it's getting more taxed to move that through the body that it doesn't need, right? The extra that you're just putting in, because so many people overdose with vitamins. People don't understand. They think more is better sometimes, and that's not always the case. Right. And they put too much in their body, and that can be, really taxing on the body, right? Right, Sharyn?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the other, they're called markers. They're called SNPs, single nucleotide polymorphosides, is the VDR, which is your vitamin D receptor. And vitamin D is very important now, especially with what's going on with the Delta variant and the COVID. So a lot of people are taking a lot of vitamin D. I have a yellow marker. I've got, so they're giving me nutrients specifically for that.
Yeah. And this is what I think why this felt very timely for me to share, because we're getting a surge of consciousness coming in around variants. Let's just call it that, because we want to keep the videos up. So, the challenge with that is regardless of what's happening in the realities, our consciousness is going into fear. We're dropping our frequency. The minute you drop into fear and worry and concern, you're dropping your overall frequency, which means your immune system's dropping. So
Right.
this to me is a great solution to at least support as best as you can your system, so you can feel more confident and secure in your immune system functionality, so you're not sitting here every day worrying, because that doesn't serve anybody. And I think we have to be very careful of what we consume, not only physically in our bodies, but also mentally and consciously, because all of that takes its toll as well. And but what I really felt was important is the general environment we're in, the general, toxicity we're exposed to, heavy metals. I have so much heavy metals that I always am pulling out of my body. So I just feel that whatever we can do to let the supercomputer called our DNA go, oh, no, yes, no, do whatever it needs to do, because it's running on par at the highest levels, is only going to help us do everything else we need to do to clear the toxins. And I know the pediatrician does that as well, and gets the microbiome balanced. And the gut is our first line of defense in our immune system. So this is the most important field, really, in our body.
That's everything that we're addressing.
Yeah. And that's why it's so great.
And I'll bet you that you have the mutant gene MTHFR because you're having a hard time getting rid of the toxins. I think that's one of the reasons why some children get autism and some don't, because they have the MTHFR genes. Every child needs to get the test. We need to see what's going on.
Yeah. Now, is this safe for children? I mean, and what is the recommendation in terms of what age is it good for children if parents wanted to put their kids on this?
Yeah, go ahead, Kim. You've got this big smile on.
I do, and I want to address that. So exactly what we do, and I was with our genetics doctor yesterday, and this was the common theme question, because a lot of people want to know. We formulate for an adult. And there's a different formulation for 0 to 2, 2 to another age. As she was saying, there's a different dosage amount. So if you are interested in testing for a child, let's talk about that offline, because what we actually do is we formulate for an adult, and it's for an 18 or older individual. So.
Got it. So that's good. Okay, so let's see what other questions are coming in. Someone asked, I have osteoporosis. I don't think this is a DNA marker. However, will this testing diagnose the nutrients that I need?
So, it is definitely a DNA marker. It's your VDR gene is your vitamin D. And if you're not absorbing vitamin D, it's hard to process calcium and magnesium. I have a client who has aches and pains and arthritis, and since she's been on this program, in less than a month, she goes, I don't have joint pains anymore, which means things are going on. Kim, do you want to address that?
Absolutely. Your VDR is it's all, and just to take this a little deeper, 65 plus more percent of how you absorb and utilize vitamin D. It's not from the food you eat. It's not from sunshine. It is that genetic disposition. Okay. I have a red marker on that one. So what we do is we give you the cofactors. So, and if you look up and research vitamin D as it relates to your calcium, so calcium, vitamin D, and another cofactor are put in so that you can actually absorb and utilize vitamin D. Let me explain kind of what has happened, and this will maybe hit home with cellular regeneration for people. All right, we're not putting in 10,000 IUs. They are putting in a clinical dose that was proven to help offset the variant. These are actionable genes. We can't change your eye color, right? Mm-hmm. But if you've got variants on these actionable genes, that means science has proven you can do something about it. So my VDR is red. My vitamin D levels used to always be in the teens. Okay, we regenerate every 3 to 4 months. I was taking this product after being on it 1 year. My vitamin D, so I was in the teens. Doctors want you in the range of 30 to 80. After 1 year of being on this product, my vitamin D levels were 52.8.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
8 months later, my vitamin D levels, when I did my blood work again, 78.4. They say the closer you can be to 80, the more in tune your immune system is. And my calcium levels look awesome too. Osteoporosis does run in my family. I know that. But when I've done my blood work, so the panel that we do and why we are seeing so many amazing practitioners, doctors, naturopaths, et cetera, come on board to use this product, it's highly measurable through blood work, what your results are. Every single gene that we look at, there's blood work that coincides. So you can see. So for me, energy, sleep, digestion, I could go on and on. My husband doesn't feel that. He wasn't dealing with what I was. His genetics look very, very different. Different ingredients. His blood work looks amazing. And that's why, I mean, it's made for him with what he's predisposed to. So I hope that answers the vitamin D and the calcium. But they're very interrelated of how you absorb and utilize nutrients in your body.
Right.
What I'm going to do is just run a little bit of a banner here because I'm getting some questions just in terms of Tina asked, what's the name of the company? How do I get started? What I'm doing is I am putting together a free consultation for people, just so you guys know, where we can talk about what is the best solution for you, because there's 4 different tests this company Üforia does. And you might want to get all of them right away. You might only need one of them. You might want 2 of them, so I want to kind of guide you through that and help you through that. So you're not just going in blind. So DNArenewal.com is the page I set up. You can schedule a free consultation with me and get on. I already have one's book, but you can, get into the calendar. But what I want to say is this, there is a special right now. And the special right now that's running for July only is if you get your wellness report and your weight loss report, or you get all 4 reports, they're giving you your first month of nutrition for free, which is the pre-nutrition we've been talking about. Your foundational nutrition for detoxing and correcting the microbiome and the gut. And it puts in, again, the telomere lengthener, right? We talked about all of that. Nutrition is going to be free for you, and you get this extra report versus getting 1 report in the nutrition, right? So it's an amazing opportunity to start into the program and get more information up front, right, Sharyn? I mean, you were going to say something?
Well, yeah. So can I talk about pricing?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So 1 report, the wellness or the weight, is $299. If you got them separately, it would be $600. If you get them together, the DNA, wellness, and the weight, it's $549. So you're saving $50, and they give you the pre-nutrition, which is usually $200. But if you get on a monthly thing, it's $159. They're going to give you that for free. That special ends today. Also, if you want all 4 reports, it's $899, and they give you the pre-nutrition for free. So, you might as well just get both reports because it's almost the same amount of money as getting 1 report right now and ordering the pre-nutrition.
Right.
Maybe
that's why it's amazing. And I want to say this too.
It ends today. It ends tonight at 10 o'clock.
Okay. Pacific, I assume. I want to say this though. For those of you like, well, I'm thin, I don't need to lose weight. The weight loss report is going to be good for you because it gives you a lot more information just in general around how you metabolize and things of that nature. So just to understand why you might want that extra report, even if you don't have a lot of weight to lose.
Yeah, what your insulin resistance is, what your obesity risk is, what your caffeine markers are, what your Getlin levels are. Hello.
Yeah. So it's a lot more than just weight loss, I guess is my point, right?
Absolutely. And we didn't talk about the other 2 reports.
Yeah.
So
do you want to
let's just say what they are really quick. We have 2 other reports. They are a skin report. And then we also have a sports and fitness report. So these reports, the skin tells you about your skin glycation. Do you use oil-based or water-based products? It tells you which you should, as well as just other things that if
Aging.
you aging,
The big
yeah,
one, aging.
skin aging, inflammation markers, etc. Right now, we don't have a customized product for that. We will. The goal of this company is to have customized products based on all of these. We do have a targeted DNA repair serum right now. I love it. It's the only thing I use. But also the sports and fitness, it tells you about your endurance, your tendency for injury and things like that. So it gives
ligaments, muscles, what sports you could, for me, my whole life, it's like, I hate running. I just fizzle out. I have no endurance on any of those tests. Hello?
Yeah. So for somebody that does work out a lot, it gives them it gives them information. Maybe like she's not endurance. So muscle
I do good yoga and different things like that.
Muscle and strength training, things like it tells you, so it guides you. And in the very few, not, I wouldn't say near, we're looking at 2022 that we will also have customized products based on that report as well. Mm-hmm. That is the goal of this company, is you are an individual. You need what's right for you. And that's where we are taking all of our science and our research is developing customized products just for the individual.
Yeah.
That's what's beautiful.
It's a game changer, seriously, because this is what's interesting about the endurance one, Sharyn. I'm with you. I'm like more of a yoga person or something like that. I'm sure that's going to show up in my report. But what I want to confirm, Kim, is that they're going to swab once. They're going to send that in. The barcode is recorded, and they basically process all 4 of these reports, regardless of whether you purchase them. And then when you're ready to purchase, they'll send you that report. So if you do it up front, or whether you do it a few months from now, let's say maybe for budgetary reasons, you can order the report and they'll have that sent to you, right? Is that correct?
Somewhat correct. So let's go back. When you swab, the lab gets a barcode and that you are female or male. They don't get your name. Okay. Right. We actually test over 600,000 variants. Okay. So then what happens at the lab, it goes to a third party. We're completely HIPAA compliant. We will never sell anybody's DNA. We're not trying to create a pharmaceutical company in another country. That's why doctors have a lot of doctors they have the ability to carry this and co-brand reports with us. So ultimately, what happens then, you become that barcode, depending on what report that you have purchased. It is your physical swab is discarded, but we carry your results, again, attached to a barcode, not your name. Right. We go in and extract which genes or which report you purchased. So yes, and you will not have to swab again. Right. If you want to add additional reports later, you absolutely can go in and purchase an additional report at a later time, and they will go back in, they'll open it up. It does take a few days, and they will extract out the information so that they can create your report for you.
Got it. Okay. Perfect. And I think what's really great about this for people to understand, I mean, I was talking to one of my girlfriends and she said she spent about $5,000 to do her DNA test, and it wasn't necessarily the extent of what we're offering. That's not the right English, but anyway, you get the point. And I just want to say that for those of you, where budget's not an issue, I would just say get your 4 reports, because it's only going to be intel that you're going to be able to now act on, right, in different various aspects of your lifestyle. In addition, what I would also say, and Sharyn, you and I have talked about this, if you want to lose weight, if that's a main goal of yours, I would still recommend doing about 4 months of just the nutrition alone, the wellness version. Get your body reset, start to work on the nutrition that's based for your body, to get your markers kind of, those file folders like shut. And in my opinion, and again, Sharyn's kind of taught me this, is that because you might lose weight just from the regular nutrition, right? Yeah, right? And then if there's additional weight, then you'd want to do the wellness, the weight loss version, which is customized for you, and that you can do like month 5 on, or for a few months until you get to the ideal weight. Would that be appropriate to say, Sharyn?
Absolutely. So I come from, let's look at your health. We need to find out what's going on in your body. So if there's a choice between only one report, it would always be the DNA health and wellness, because that's your roots. That's the roots of your tree, and that needs to be addressed. And it takes 4 months to change most of the cells in your body. And after 4 months, again, the company knows that the price of the pre-nutrition goes down to $99, but there's all kinds of perks. If you share it with 3 customers, 3 friends, or family members, it goes down to, it's free. And so, like, I just had a client, a couple clients, they got on it. They put their husband and their two children on it. Their now product is for free forever. So
well, they'll pay tax and shipping, but as long as her referred customers are on the product, the product.
And just so you have some kind of frame of reference, I went last year and I got, because I wanted to see if I had the mutant gene, the MTHFR, which I did, because my son went and got the test done, and he does have it, but he has the 1131. I have the 1133. Which means that he didn't get it from me, he got it from his father. And that test cost me, just that one test cost me $350. If you were to go to a doctor and get all these 18 different genes, it would cost you $6,300.
Yeah.
So
that's why the value is unprecedented, in my opinion, and it's such a good
opportunity. These genetic doctors that are out there, they're charging a fortune to go over the tests. I'm hearing insane things. You know, people are going to get their DNA testing. Kim, you told me, what was that story you told me yesterday?
I just learned about a doctor in the Midwest that he is his initial package for genetic mapping is $30,000. That's his initial. His all-in is $75,000, and I'm going, oh my goodness. Anyway.
It's really, you know, I wanted to say something to that, though. Wait a second. This is why this is Magdalene consciousness, guys, because this is disruptive. We are going to change and give the power back to people to take back their control and the power of their health in a way that makes sense, that is balanced, that's more affordable, because we can't keep, dare I say, taking advantage of people. And I speak to the spiritual community that I see taking advantage and charging exorbitant prices for all sorts of things. I speak to everybody right now that's in these systems that are now we're working to dismantle to build the world we want and deserve. And this is, I believe, one of those threads in that fabric of what we're building, which is what I call this new earth framework that is very imperative, because if our DNA is distorted, it's almost like I say you're in harmony or you're running, you know, heavy metal music, right? It's like you want to be in harmony. And the only way to come into harmony is to really have the balance of the masculine, feminine within, you know, these areas of your life in balance on the physical level, not just the spiritual, not just the mental, but the physical too. Like this is a triangulation here, guys. So I want everybody to really consider where you're putting your time and your hours. And if it's on one side more than the other and you've been neglecting the physical, this is the time to really look at that, because this is the time more than ever before in the times we're living in that we need to pay attention and take back our power when it comes to loving our bodies.
And I just want to add something to it. You know, this was being offered to doctors, and it still is. If you're a doctor, you can get the doctor's package. And you can co-brand, you can have your name on the top of your report, you know, it'll say the doctor's name. But what was happening is the doctors wanted to private label the nutrients. And you can't private label the nutrients because everybody's nutrition is different.
This doesn't go up on the shelf.
So this is, you know, the owner of the company says, I'm putting the power back to the people. Mm-hmm. Power to the people, taking it hands out of the FDA, taking the hands out of the doctors, giving it to the people, and let the people share it with other people. And I'm going to charge a ridiculously low amount of money that is affordable to everybody so that we can improve our health. And we need to do that now, because everybody, with what's going on right now in the universe, we need to do everything that we can to build our immune system. And there's no better way to do that than to know what your DNA is and have specific nutrients, science-based, based on your DNA.
Yeah.
Power to the people.
Absolutely. And I think that this, you know, this is the message for today with this masterclass, because in order to come into our mastery, we have to take accountability. And I know so many people are resistant of like, I don't want to change my diet. I don't want to, you know, they don't want to do certain things. They're just very stuck in their ways. They get stuck. stuck energy. And I do feel what I know just from the short amount of time I've been taking the pre-nutrition is there was almost like this veil of energy just stuck in the system. It's like almost like this low-grade depression where everybody's kind of just like, oh my gosh, just can't. And this, it knocked it out. Like I just was like, whoa, like the brain fog, all that, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, it's gone. I don't have that. And so when you're in the kind of what I call the front lines on human consciousness, this little bit of warfare, let's just call it what it is, you want that right helmet on, you want the right tools in your belt, you need the right support. And I do feel that this is one of those things that is coming in just in the nick. It's like, here it is, here you go. I'm just excited to be sharing it.
Brayton said, let's go into this deeper. God is eternal.
Correct.
It's in your DNA, and you're waking up that factor in your DNA when you're getting the right nutrients. Some of those things have been asleep or not functioning correctly.
Yeah.
And when you start getting it, all of them functioning the way that God intended it to be, it puts you in a different league.
Yeah. I do believe that, what's interesting is the energetic that I work with, it calls itself Eterna, and it means eternal, but it's a feminine frequency. It's almost like the cosmic mother frequency. And so the authority, the graceful authority that Eterna brings through is just like, now's the time more than ever before to step into your power, to step into your truth, to speak truth to power, because it's been abused for far too long. So we are doing that. And I think that this is another way for us to feel reinforced, supported. And I'm just so excited to be working with Üforia. And I want to say to everybody, my intention is to create change angels. They're going to go in the world. And I know a lot of you have a lot to say anyway, so you might as well be telling people about Üforia. And if that's something of interest to you, there's an opportunity here, which we're not going to dive into right now.
There's a lot of government workers and healthcare workers are going to be forced to do something to put into their body that they may not want to do. And they have a decision to make whether to leave and look for something else to live. And it may come down, if somebody has a job, it's going to spread, because if it's just government and health, it can be businesses any day. You need to have something that you can have your own. And this is an incredible opportunity as well.
Yeah,
so if somebody's interested, if somebody's interested, they can get in touch with me or you. And look at the opportunity of this, because you need to have your own business where you can not be dependent on anybody but yourself.
Yeah, it's a diversification.
What's coming down the pike here.
Yeah, I mean, we want to be prepared. So, people diversify in terms of what they invest in. I want to say diversify in terms of what your income streams are is always helpful, because things can get affected. I mean, as a spiritual leader, I'll have my clients, to them, spirituality and working spiritually sometimes is a luxury sport, right? So that's the first thing to go. They're like, oh, I'm not going to get my sessions right now because whatever. So this is, an adjunct to what I do. And it's a nice glove in hand kind of situation, because it is still about supporting the frequency and the material of the vehicle that we work through.
You're helping people get what they want.
Yeah.
We're just filling needs, wants, dreams, and desires. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're all meant to do. We're here to fill dreams, needs, wants, and desires.
Yeah.
Let me help you.
Beautifully said. All right. So, Jeanette, she says, if one orders by tonight, is all of the discounts on the website? I would say, Jeanette, you can
get in touch with us and
get in touch with me.
Yeah, you have to go through Stephanie's. You want to give them your.
I put the link there. Yeah, the link is on there. So everybody, you have it. It's EuforiaScience.com/DNA Renewal. So, and then DNARenewal.com. You can also, I believe, find it. But
there's different ways you can become a customer, or you can become a nutritionist. The difference is $39. So if somebody, I like to walk people through the process of ordering, so I know that they're getting what they want instead of having to go back and do it.
So that's why I set it up for consultation. So Jeanette, I'm happy to do that with you today. just message me via the Angelhood since you know how to reach me. And anybody else, the angelhood.com is a beautiful playground that I created, a private playground for like-minded people. You can always find me there. You can also message me through Facebook. So if it's something you want to learn more about and you're like, I don't want to wait till next week to get a consult, then definitely get in touch with me today. And
especially
then
if you want the great giveaway.
Yeah, especially if you want to take advantage of the extra report. Yes, for sure. Any other questions? Feel free to ask. We have these beautiful ladies here who have so much knowledge regarding Üforia, and it's such a pleasure to have both of you. One of the things I want to say is, for me personally, I feel there's been a more grounded energy with this product, because I know as a spiritualist we tend to kind of be in the upper chakras, and what I find with this is I'm still operating in high frequency here, but I'm still feeling safer in my body is the best way to say it. And what I know at a collective level is we are really processing the fight or flight of lineages, ancestry lineages of people who've been in warfare, ancestors that have been doing all sorts of things that have caused a lot of, deep-rooted genetic distortion. And that comes up through the DNA too, spiritually, let's say, etherically. So what I know is what I'm feeling for me is just a safety feeling, like my body's now supporting me. It feels safe to be in my body. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, especially if you're energetically aware, sometimes you just don't feel safe in your body. You feel like your body's going to betray you. You're waiting for a shoe to drop. There's an impending doom or anguish like stuck in there somewhere, and you don't know why. And you're like, what's going on? And you just never feel 100% comfortable in your own body. I'm telling you what's interesting about this product so far is, and I haven't even, again, done the customized version, it's already making me feel like I got this. I'm in my body. We're good. Like there's a synergy happening. And this is so important for the work that I talk about. But I know for many of you, this will be amazingly beneficial to just have that fight or flight feeling, that anxiety a lot of us are feeling just even from the collective consciousness right now. Thank you for that little exclamation point. But yeah, I think that's something to consider as well, because we can look at the science, and we know the science works. I'm speaking to why the spiritual of this is really fascinating to me too. So just wanted to share that.
So
okay,
we have to go. Anybody else before? I know, Kim, you have to go.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think, ladies, this has been such a blessing to have you here. I'm so grateful that you made the time and were able to spend this time with us. And I'm going to let you two go. And I'm just going to guide everybody through a meditation and send them off into the day.
Thank you, Stephanie, for doing this, for having us, for letting us share this incredible journey of healthy lifestyle, health span. Let's create a health span.
Yeah.
Thank you
and
so much.
I will be posting in the comments once we're done with the live how they can reach you guys both, and you're welcome to put it in and go back into the stream and put it in if you want to, but as well. But we'll be making sure people can find you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. It's great to meet you, Stephanie, live. And thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
You too, love. All right.
Enjoy the meditation, everybody.
Bye, ladies. Oh my goodness. So this is really exciting. I just want to say thank you for sharing your heart and your time with us, because I'm just feeling so impassioned by this specific product because of how I feel already and how it came into my life. And I know some of you who've already, who are in my private group, the Halo, you've already decided to take the leap and get your product. And so I'm excited for all of you. But what I want to do now is do what I do as a mystic, which is my energetic sharing. And we're going to do a little bit of work here with Magdalene Consciousness. I also want to mention that I am doing Halo Spa today. Halo Spa is a healing group session. It's a group session I do once a month for group healing. And I will actually pull that up so I can give you the link for it. In case you want to join us after this, it'll be at 1:00 today. So in about an hour, once we're complete here. This is going to be combining a frequency field that I work with called Healy. It's a device that I work with called Healy that I pull into the field for us. So you get to experience Healy, which is a quantum healing device that works with frequency. But I also will be working with my I guess you could say main healing process called Halonetics. And Halonetics is where I tune what I call your halo, your energetic field. Okay. Holographic assembled light organization. This is what is informing you at the frequency level. So again, now we're coming to the spiritual side of this. The spiritual side for me is when we access and we are aware of the light and sound components of what's assembling us, what is putting us into form. Okay. And our DNA has a light and sound signature. This is why you have an aura. If you get an aura photography, you'll see like an aurora around you, right? This is because your DNA, every cell gives off a certain level of light. You also have sound in your DNA. It gives off a frequency of sound, a vibration. And so that's where we talk about resonance. We talk about the energy of people. Like you might meet someone and I don't resonate with them. It's because your signatures, your frequencies are meeting, your halo is touching, and you're exchanging information. And at the sound level, that resonates or it doesn't. You can also read a halo of a space. When you walk into a restaurant, you walk into a church, you walk into a different location of any kind of office space, you'll walk in and you sense an energy, a resonance in the field. This is what I call your halo, okay, or the halo. And again, it's just the holographic assembly of that space. So we have a ton of halos all over. Okay. And even people would dare say that when they witness or see things etherically, like if they're clairvoyant, they might see orbs, they might see light bubbles, things like that. Those are high vibrational beings that they're witnessing their halos. Those orbs are the halos. So halonetics is where I tune that. There's little distortions and disruptions that can hit your halo. You get pinged by a consciousness. You watch something on the news that hurt you, like you didn't like it, whatever. It's sitting in there. And so it's almost like saying, okay, you're like a Swiffer duster. You picked up some static. We're going to remove that and put a new one on. You're going to be clear and good to go. So especially I want to speak to those who joined me in Magdalene Mastery Summit last weekend. You might be integrating a lot. That was a big weekend. We're in a Lionsgate portal now, through August 12th. The exact will be on August 8th, the 8/8. So there's a lot of energy right now that we're processing. So Halo Spa is going to be kind of that rest and relaxation integration, that you might need. So I just wanted to let you know we are doing that today, 1 p.m. Pacific, and you're welcome to sign up in the Crowdcast link I just put. Ignore the date because I had rescheduled it from a different date. And just letting you know there's still time to do that. Okay. All right. Let's get started. I'm going to bring in a crystal. I always like to work with a crystal. This is what I call my diamond. This is a Vogel crystal. It's 24-sided. I'm also going to bring in some oils. This is always something I do with Magdalene Consciousness. Honor the oil. So I'm bringing in my halo oil. This is through my Celestials collection, so you guys can get some of that if you like. It's called Awaken. And I use it just to clear and to harmonize. I'm just going to move my hair over to the side so it feels a little bit less constricting. I'm going to put that in here for those of you who wanted to check that out later. shopcelestials.com. Because I also have I have these back in stock finally. These are going to be coming out, which are my terahertz bracelets. Again, Dr. Christian Northrup had those up on her Facebook. She really enjoys them. And terahertz is, again, another frequency tool. So if you're looking to kind of mitigate Wi-Fi and frequency in your field, this is a really excellent tool to wear just to kind of keep your halo reinforced on the regular. Okay, just to explain what terahertz is for. Okay, so we're going to get started. We're just going to do a really short meditation here where I'm going to basically be accessing, the field and going into look at the DNA, basically, of the collective. So the collective DNA consciousness, and then wherever you are in harmony or out of harmony with the ideal DNA of the consciousness of the planet, the planetary DNA. So this is a different kind of meditation. Sometimes for those of you who are in the summit, we went into your DNA and literally worked on the codons or the SNPs of your DNA. What we're going to do today as a collective is look at the harmony of the planet, the planetary DNA, all right? And this means the collective consciousness, the collective informational field, you might even say the quantum of the planet, and seeing where we're in harmony or disharmony with that, and remind ourselves that we belong on this planet. It's safe to be on this planet. And we can bring that frequency of the planet up when we bring our own frequency up. So we're going to be in service to some degree as well. What I didn't get to mention just before when we were talking about euphoria, what I find very imperative about this and what's so important about getting our body to feel better and to look at those reports that might, as Sharyn said, the woman who couldn't lose weight, and she had all this shame around the fact that she thought no matter what she did, she couldn't lose weight and it was her fault. And she was, the bad one, right? That puts us, though, into a victim consciousness. It also drops us into the field of shame and consciousness of shame, which is one of the lowest basement levels of frequency you can be in. All right. It is probably the bottom, to be honest, shame and then guilt. So this is the two that many people are dealing with when it comes to their health. Like, why can't I fix this? What am I doing wrong? And they beat themselves up. So we want to really let go of any element that's self-abusive, right? Where you're beating yourself up and you're having shame or guilt about things you're doing or not doing right. You have done everything right at the level of your soul. This is the main message from Magdalene today. You have done everything right to get to this point for the evolution of the collective humanity. You have played your part brilliantly. All right. Feel into that and what that feels like. She's speaking to you. You have played your part brilliantly. That means with radiance. That means with substance. Everything you've gone through to get to this moment of now has created a gem. Just like this is cut with different facets, every single facet is created by an experience in your life that may not have been the easiest, but it made you the gem. Okay. So when we go into this meditation, I want you to go in, if you can, with the highest consciousness of love for yourself. Because if we don't love ourselves first, if we don't practice self-love and self-devotion, really remember who we are and know the brilliance of who we are, how can we expect to love anybody? How can we expect to find love and harmony in this world? How can we expect people to find unity consciousness, right? From this very separated, polarized state that we find ourselves in, how can we ever expect to build a bridge if we don't love ourselves first? We have to love ourselves and access the love that we are to be able to give of love. And so that's the main message today, is just to love yourself. Love yourself enough to know you're worth it. You're worth all the goodness in this world. If you're still funneling through some scarcity consciousness right now, know that we are going to do what we can today to rectify that. Because it's about taking those steps to know you are supported, sometimes in advance. Taking those leaps to say, you know what, I'm going to do something and know that I'm going to be supported no matter what. The right money will show up to find me in the right time. So this is where we are being pushed to run what I call the frequency of faith. And the frequency of faith is not about religion. It's about stepping into a field of faith where we are planting seeds for new realities. Because we don't know these things yet. They're the unseen. They're all the possibilities of infinite potential. And we want to say, oh, I got to plan and control, and it's going to be like this. And we speculate and we plant seeds of speculation that may or may not serve us because we're basing it on current conditions. So what I'm going to invite you to consider in this moment is to let go of all the current conditions. Let go of everything you're witnessing in the world right now, whether you see that as a good, bad, or indifferent. Come into a place of highest neutrality about all. Come into a place of your heart. Dive deeper into the heart with me, and let's go on this ride together, okay? So excited. All right, thank you, Magdalene. Magdalene has always something to say that I love, so we're going to just honor that. Okay, here we go. We're going to open the heart with sound. And just breathing into your belly, and taking a deep breath and exhale as comfortable. And know that with each inhalation and exhalation, you are bringing in new inspiration and you are letting go of the old. Okay, in that order. And we're just clearing the field and the crown. And I apologize that there's a vacuum out in the hall in my condo here. So we are going to know that sound, if it gets louder, will just get integrated into this experience. And I want you to say to yourself, oh, that's perfect. It's vacuuming out everything that no longer serves. It's removing, clearing, and cleansing and pulling out anything that you're willing to let go of today. All right. So what I'm going to do, and what I always do, is I'm going to set up a halo. And what I do when I set up a halo is I essentially am setting up a cosmic consciousness of collective container, a space that we're all going to meet in. All right. And so think of this as like just existing in the quantum field, and we're all jumping into this halo together, this space together, this container together. And what I do is I pull in archetypes. Okay. I call them angels of highest potential. These are elements of us that whether you believe in this or not, it's irrelevant, because it's really representing the light. It's representing different levels of light and consciousness in intended states. That means instead of saying, I'm just going to pull in all the source, all of God, all the universe, I'm going to pull in very specific elements of that. I'm going to tune into this station and that station specifically to create my halo, because I want to create and reinforce specific energetics here that are manageable. Okay, because again, we can hold broad bandwidth, we can bring in a lot of light, or we can bring in an aspect of that and still have a very beautiful effect of what is kind of projected into our field and brought into our light body, and also amplified through that authority, through that consciousness. So the word, again, is law. My word is law. What I speak into form is happening. So whether you know that or not is irrelevant to me. I know that. I'm creating the container. So all you need to do is relax. You get to go, okay, stuff's going to handle it, and I'm just going to chill and relax and receive. And that's the beauty of this process. Okay, just to give everybody a little bit of a taste of that. All right, let me get some water. See if the vacuum comes and goes. I can hear it getting closer. So I'm going to give it a second to do its round. You can probably start to hear it. And I'm just going to read some of the comments here for a second. Oh, Jeanette, thanks for signing up for Halo's File. Look forward to seeing you, love. Beautiful. Lisa, you're integrating a lot from the summit. Aren't we all? There was a lot of energy there. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Mary. Mary's saying that she's been able to get through some stressful time with more energy because she's been on the pre-nutrition. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. Beautiful. All right. So what we're going to do is, as we tap in before we go into this meditation, I want you guys to think about an intention. What is an intention you'd like to share into this space with us? And we're not going to share them out loud. We're just knowing in our hearts, we're bringing forward an intention. We're setting an intention for ourselves in our own personal lives, this form of self-love again, self-devotion, but also an intention for the world. What would you like to see this world come into? So as an example, my intention for myself is to be able to relax the rest of this weekend after today. Sovereign Saturday has me busy. And then my intention for the world is to see more sovereignty unfold, more freedom rise for everybody. Okay, to find a place where we can all feel free to breathe, free to function, and find solutions to do so. Okay, that's my intention. So again, find your own, maybe borrow mine, whatever you want to do. All right, so let's get started. The vacuum is now clear. Thank you. All right. All right, so I'm going to go into my state of consciousness. I call Eterna the Magdalene energy. And this energy here is supporting the feminine rising into her proper station. So just feel this energy coming into your heart. Just sending a beautiful cosmic hug or heart hug to you now. And just know that you are loved beyond all measure and belief. Breathing in. I call forth the angelic light streams of all creation, the divine universal intelligence that serves us all, and I call this forth with the intention to collect with the celestial councils of living light who are here to reframe, reformat, and reset us to the highest, most optimized frequency that we can currently hold in our hearts, in our minds, in our bodies, and in our spirit. I recognize as the sovereign light councils of the seraphim, the Ophanim, the Elohim, and cherubim come in to begin to assemble this beautiful halo of consciousness around us, reinforcing safety, security, well-being, that we are always, always in the flow of abundance and vitality in every way. I also recognize Archangel Metatron as the beautiful scribe, as the one who is designing the specifics, the energy codes and keys, if you will, of this beautiful container. I ask Metatron to govern this, utilizing the platinum and titanium light streams of sovereign feminine and sovereign masculine, respectively, knowing that they are in harmony and balance to bring us in our greatest sovereignty. I also call forth and recognize Archangel Raziel, bringing in the rose gold frequency, this beautiful rose gold that is here to optimize our immune system in all ways, especially consciously. Recognizing the sapphire light stream of all creation coming in now with the key of Michael, Archangel Michael, for those playing at home. And I recognize this beautiful stream coming in to bring in safety, protection, security, and feelings of support. I also recognize Archangel Raphael, the key of Raphael coming in with the emerald light stream. And as these two converge and entangle, they bring in a beautiful earth glow effect to our halo, the blues and the greens of earth, Gaia, love. And as these energies of emerald come in, they are harmonizing and bringing us into greater clarity that we are loved and we are lovable and we are love itself. And as love, we are able to transmute and transcend any distortion, and we are miracle makers in that. And now I recognize the energy of the alchemical gold that is the ascended version of Archangel Gabriel coming in to support us in alchemizing anything we are ready to let go of. Anything and everything. I also recognize Archangel Uriel coming in, and Uriel brings in the diamond light stream in its full supplementation, the multivitamin, if you will, of light. And as this energy comes in, it is supplementing anything and everything at the energetic levels, at the frequency levels that you may require at this time, all the way down to your DNA, and even smaller. And as this energy of diamond light comes in, you may see it as this beautiful, sparkling, clear or white, opaque slightly, aura effect, rainbow, a little bit going on in there. All of this beautiful energy coming into your halo now. And it will come in and kind of override any and all other spectrums, because it is all spectrums, holding this beautiful bubble of light around you. And now I see and recognize the Ascended Masters and the Christ Council collectives, those that have walked this planet before, some of them, and embodied their highest celestial wisdom while doing so. I recognize Yeshua, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Grandmother Hannah, Father Joseph, Kuan Yin, Saint Germain, as well as Lord Sananda. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And they are here to support us. They're all here to support us in remembering who we are. And as these energies come in, you may see them come in and hold counsel with you, sit with you, comfort you as needed. And just breathing in and letting go of the breath, letting go of the day, letting go of all the energy of the mental consciousness that we've been exploring here, and just letting go and coming into a moment of peace, bringing the energy of the mind into a state of peace and harmony. And as I set this container of the halo, I am anchoring into the violet light or the amethyst light stream. And this is governed by two archangelic frequencies. One is known as Archangel Zachiel, and the other Lord, interesting, Lady Amethyst. We'll call you Lord Girl. Lady Amethyst. And these energies of light coming in to assist us in transmuting and letting go, again, detoxing anything and everything that we are ready to let go of. They will be the receptacle. That violet light will be the receptacle. And the ultraviolet light working alongside it will help us reveal those things we are ready to let go of as well. So anything that pops up in your consciousness, a thought, a moment, just know it's just coming up to say goodbye, perhaps. And you are ready to release. And this container of violet light will receive it for you. And so our chamber, our archangelic chamber, as it anchors into this violet light stream, this bridge of consciousness, I only allow for the highest frequencies of living light, ultimate love, and immaculate grace to remain within this halo always. And so as this chamber is now coming into anchor, we are set, the container is set, and we are ready to go. So the question is, where are we going? I want you to imagine that you are just hovering in this beautiful bubble of light. You may see yourself reclining on some type of chair or bed, maybe a chaise. However you see yourself relaxing, just relax. And know that you are held. And this energy is going to serve as a ship. It's going to hold you consciously. And we are going to drop ourselves down into the center of the planet etherically. We're energetically connecting with the whole collective consciousness through the center point of the heart of our planet. And as we drop in, you are transported instantaneously, just like that now, dropped in to a beautiful diamond heart in the center of the planet. This multi-level form it looks like a star. It's like a multi-spectrum, multi-pointed star. Different colors dance within it. And it holds a very immaculate frequency, pure frequency. And as you float into it, you are in this beautiful space of living light, and it's going to just have a beautiful spectrum of colors coming in. So with your eyes closed, hopefully, you might even see some of these colors. And what you are doing is you are connecting into the hub, the heart of this planet, where all is being created. The very DNA of Gaia at the energetic level. And as you are hovering in this space, your DNA is starting to vibrate, starting to sing and harmonize with her resonance. You are coming into harmonic alignment with Gaia at the level of her spirit, her soul, if you will, and her energy. So as this is happening, I want you to imagine, if you will, that every cell of your being is giving off more light and more sound to speak into her field. And in exchange, she is sending you waves of blissful energy in response to speak into yours. And as these waves of energy come into your body from all directions, because again, you are hovering in this beautiful halo and receiving this energy frequency, they are reharmonizing you to the true nature of Gaia, who Gaia is on all levels, who this earth and what this earth is on all levels. And she is speaking to you that she's got you. Everything's going to be okay. This is what is birthing. This is what is coming forward. This is what is expanding outward. And I want you to imagine that these waves of energy coming into your heart, coming into your body, coming into all elements of who you are, as they pass through you, they are going to the outskirts, the very edges of the planet now, the surface levels, the oceans, the continents, and into the atmosphere even. Every wave passing through you is going into the collective consciousness. And we are informing through your soul signature, your individual blueprint of archangelic, or let's call it sacred design, a signature of says, I am here, I am worthy of being here, I support and I am supported. I am integrated with the benevolence of this planet, with the abundance of this planet, with the vitality of this planet. And as you take a breath and you exhale, remember that the signature, as it's flowing into the surface, you are imprinting, infusing your love into the collective, outpicturing of what is happening on the planet today. And we are improving, elevating, and informing the entire picture that everyone is walking through right now with a new celluloid, new cellular substrate, new information. And this new information is, all is well, beloveds. It's all going to be okay. It's already okay. You are simply witnessing the old falling away. But the new is already here. It has already risen to the surface, and it rises through you. Through every thought you compose, through every emotion you feel. You are building this world. Your thoughts are building continents. Your emotion is flowing into the ocean. And it continues to rise because you are rising. There is more emotion rising on this planet today because you all are rising into the heart. You are giving authority to the heart. You are letting go of the mind, the mental, to give the authority back to the grace and the light of your heart. And when you let the heart lead the way, you walk on a different planet. You can witness the one falling away, but you reside in a different frequency. So therefore you reside in a different resonance. And what you resonate is where you reside. So our invitation again is to resonate higher. Remove all obstacles that keep your resonance from flying higher. Keep your eyes on the horizon of this. And any attempts to lower your vibration by any outside source or force, please do your best to change the station of your mind. Unplug, go into nature, relax, unwind, and remember, you are building with the collective consciousness all that you are witnessing. And so if you are witnessing despair and anguish and suffering, go within and find the aspect of you that feels like it's in despair or in anguish or suffering. Because all that outpicturing is just trying to get your attention as a reflection of where you still require some harmonizing or healing. It would not come on your radar if it was not for you personally to pay attention to. And remember the power of decision now in your heart. As you expand the light in your heart right now, you are sending a ripple effect out, and you are intending something to shift. Whatever your intention was for today, think about that intention and imagine a pulse wave coming from your heart into the world, from the center point of the planet. While you are here in the center of her heart, you are amplified. So just imagine this intention flowing into the surface, finding its home somewhere, and spreading like beautiful waves of light around the world. This is the power of the impact that you have through the intention of love that you are. Reclaim it, own it, step into it, and practice it daily, beloved ones. for you are needed more than ever before to do so. And as we are here in this moment of now, I just want to say thank you for participating in this world's liberation. There are many thousands of people that are affected because of your one moment of connection like this. Know that to be true. And as you know that and feel into that, feel into your body, and any areas of your body that might feel stiff and uncomfortable, send light there. Utilize the amplification of this diamond heart of earth to clear, cleanse, and release anything and everything that you are holding on to, that etheric baggage, if you will, that energy baggage. Unpack it, let it go, release now. And see it just instantly transformed, transmuted in violet light. And just allow more and more of the diamond light to come into your body. Refresh and restore fully now. You are this beautiful nucleus within this beautiful cell, this global cell of Gaia. And now we are just going to float you back up to the surface, bringing you back up to the surface. In your halo, still here, still shining, still radiant, back into your current room, the current state of consciousness that you're in. I'm just going to call you back in with a little more sound. Coming back, anchoring into your body, anchoring into this moment of now with me. Coming back, and remember that light is easy. Just be the light. Share the light. Practice gratitude, compassion, and forgiveness as much as you can, as others are still finding their light. It may need a little more time. So how's everybody feeling? I hope you're feeling a little bit better after that. I'm just really grateful you're still here with me. I'm grateful that we had this time together. And I'm excited to be meeting with you in a little bit more than half an hour from now for Halo Spa. So we'll be right back here, but in Crowdcast. So the link is here within the feed. I think in the comments, you should be able to find that, whether you're watching me on Facebook or YouTube. And I just want to say I'm so grateful for you joining this first little mini Magdalene Masterclass and really sharing of something that I feel should ripple out around the world. And if you feel inclined to share it, Üforia is now available in Canada, the United States, and Australia. It will be coming to Europe eventually. So I know some of you are like, oh, I want to get it now. But what I do know is hold the intention. Make that your intention. See that coming in faster and faster so that we can get that over to you. All right. I want to just say again, thank you everybody who came in. So much gratitude for all of you. And I'm really excited for those of you who've said yes to Üforia. And I'm really excited for those of you who will be saying yes. Just to be clear, you can schedule a free DNA renewal consultation with me so I can go through everything with you, explain a little bit better what we didn't get to touch on today, or you might have come in late and you want to learn more. Then there's a free consult available for you. And I will go deeper into whether, the wellness and the weight loss are something you want, both, maybe all four. Again, really affordable considering what you're getting for this type of level of technology and information. As we mentioned, it would be thousands of dollars really to get these type of DNA reports. So the way they've structured this company, the way they've built the marketing of it, because again, you can't put this on a shelf, so it has to go through word of mouth like this. So just know you can make the investment initially, and then if you're saying, well, I don't know if I want to do $159 a month every month for my supplements, it's kind of more than my budget allows for. Know that after 4 months it does drop to $99. We didn't mention that. But if you share it with 3 friends and you just help 3 people, then it'll be $29, roughly $20 to $29, depending where you live, for shipping and handling and tax, and that's all you pay. So I don't know any supplement on the market, that costs much more than that. I mean, meaning much less than that, right? There's some supplements that are like $20, but my point is you're getting a lot for that. So there's ways to make this work for you if it's something you'd like to do. I always say when there's a will, there's a way, right? So happy to find whatever that is for you, that journey for you. And again, you can take advantage of the process today. If you want to get in touch with me, you're like, yes, I want to take advantage, I should say, not of the process, but of the package. I'm still floating a little. The wellness and weight loss reports together get you free pre-trition. So I would say that's a smoking offer. So definitely take advantage of that. Blazing angels. I love you all. I thank you all again for being here. Thank you all for bringing your light and supporting this process and up-leveling what we just did with the planet. It's always good to do that. And I will see you in a little bit, hopefully in Crowdcast, all right? Much love. Giving you big hugs. Wouldn't be the Hug Angel if I didn't do that. You can find me at the Hug Angel on Instagram as well. You can also find Celestials at Celestials Joy if you're looking to be part of my show and sells that'll be coming up a little bit later in August. I will be doing lives with some of the products that I sell and crystals and all sorts of fun things. So that's coming soon after my vacation. Much needed vacation in Sedona. So thank you everybody again. Thank you, Jean. Hi, Jean. I love you. Jean Trebek, I have to say, I love you, and thank you for my flowers. She got me the most glorious flowers that came yesterday and congratulating me and holding space for the summit, and I just want to say thank you. I love you, honey. And I love all of you. Mary, Kristen, all of you. I see all of you, and I thank all of you for being here. All right? We'll see you soon. Bye.